I read this interesting piece the other day that was discussing how space is the illusion of separateness. Because in the simplest level of our existence, everything is touching. And to think of it in a different way, even on an atomic level, the atoms that compose our body are connected to atoms that are constantly moving in and out and connected to atoms around us that, if you extend the connection, goes everywhere. It's not that we're just connected to everything. We are intimately integrated into everything. And this is an understanding that is not as refined as the understanding embodied in the tantric tradition, which is that everything is, in fact, the expression of pure awareness. The thing that struck me about this whole idea, the understanding that everything is touching, is very simply that it reinforced for me the awareness that the most powerful thing that we have, and maybe the only thing that we can control, even slightly, is our own commitment. What we are committed to. Because it is our commitment, whatever it is that we're committed to, really committed to, that becomes the center of gravity within ourselves, around which our life can become organized. Further, commitment to things like career, relationship, family, are commitments that actually, in fact, organize, us as a set of tensions which then move on to become disappointments. And there's only one commitment that so far has occurred to me, or that I've observed ever, that really allows for, well, let's just say a very happy ending. And that is a commitment to growing spiritually. Because rather than being committed to something which is guaranteed to build structure and guaranteed to, in that structure, create boundaries which create, an ever-increasing absence of the awareness of the reality that our life is touching all of life, and in fact, that there is only one life, and that one life this body is an expression of, in the same way that the leaves on a tree are an expression of, not the tree, the ground the tree is standing in. And the leaves on the tree are the expression of all of the leaves and all of the trees that have ever stood in that ground and everything else. This body is, a leaf on the tree of life. And a commitment, a deep commitment, let's just say a commitment to hold the deepest and finest space, the deepest and finest place that we can connect to within ourselves, organizes and actualizes the ultimate reality to explain itself to us. I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, and unless you really have a commitment within yourself to understand the truth from within you, everything I say will just be words. It'll be rain on your windshield. I used to sit with Rudy, and Rudy had this way of just kind of going someplace. Where he would go, I mean, I saw him go there, but where it was exactly, I don't know. But he'd like leave his body and just open himself up, and then things would just start coming through him. And sometimes I had no idea what he was talking about. But the most interesting part of it for me was that I had the idea that if I just felt it and tried to draw it into myself and hold it, that in time I would understand what he was talking about, which pretty much worked out. It is having a really solid and deep commitment to our own complete fulfillment. Have you got a better goal than that for your life? What are you doing here anyway? Oh, let's see, I'm having coffee at 1. What are we doing in this world? If we're not here to grow, what are we doing? There are only 2 things to do here: grow and serve. Everything else is random, useless motion. But to have a meaningful experience and to have a successful experience, you have to have a real commitment to something. And that's hard sometimes. It's also can be unbelievably joyful and beautiful. It's work most of the time. Sometimes it's easy, most of the time not so much. But reaching into yourself, reaching through your tensions, through the structure that you inherited from your parents, who inherited from their parents, etc., and so forth, none of which anybody has a clue about. Reaching through that structure and connecting to the finest place within you will transform you and transform your life into something that we call a miracle. And this is so simple, it's stupid. I mean, it's so simple. And the only thing that, it's like Rudy used to say, life is profound only in its simplicity. And the extraordinary thing is that we manage to walk through this world and accumulate tensions and suffering instead of shedding tensions and accumulating joy, growing love. And that happens because we just don't have the commitment or do the work that will release us from the bondage of the disappointments of our ancestors and the accumulated tensions of our day, to find in ourself the joy and the love that will dissolve every tension and every boundary and allow us to begin to experience our life touching life itself. When I sit here with you in the evenings, my life touches all of your lives. Not only that, it touches all the lives of all the lives that you've touched. And it touches you. And it's the simplest thing in the world, and it's also totally the most transforming. The experience of God is not some great drama that exists in some space way beyond beyond. The experience of God is in the simplest vibration that you hold within your own heart. Have a real commitment to grow. Care about the quality of your own life, and care about the meaning that the opportunity that this life presents to you. Being alive, being a human being is precious, and you should do something good with it. Namaste.